The fire crackles low. Welcome to Warpath and Wilderness, where history isn't behind glass, but mud on your boots and weight on your shoulders. Tonight, we travel back 2,000 years to the Roman Empire, a civilization that fed millions and fortified thousands of miles without a single volt of electricity. Rome's true power, mastery of physics, materials, gravity, and human labor. Here are 12 of their greatest forgotten technologies, and the survival lessons each one still carries. Let's pull apart these old machines, walk the roads they built, and see what survives when everything else fails. Let's start underfoot with the hypocaust, ancient underfloor heating powered by fire and stone. Romans built villas and bathhouses on pillars, creating a crawl space for hot air to circulate and warm the floors. This wasn't just comfort, it was survival. The floor soaked up heat and released it slowly, keeping rooms warm through freezing nights. In a world where fuel is precious, that efficiency can mean life or death. Modern underfloor heating is a direct descendant, but the principle is what matters. Build with mass, direct the fire, let stone do the rest. If you ever rebuild from ashes, remember, heat rises, stone stores warmth, and old solutions are often the most reliable. The hypercaust proves that even luxury can be survival tech when the world gets cold. Water is survival, and the Romans mastered it with aqueducts, massive stone channels powered by gravity alone. Some aqueducts ran for 50 miles, dropping only a few feet, delivering water day and night. The secret? A gentle, relentless slope. Water never tires and gravity never quits. In the wild or after collapse, the lesson is simple. Find high ground, direct the water, and let gravity do the work. A well-dug channel or lined trench can mean the difference between thriving and desperation. Ruined aqueducts aren't just monuments, they're blueprints. Water flows downhill, and as long as it rains, that energy is free for the taking. Roman concrete wasn't just tough, it's outlasted empires. The secret? Volcanic ash, lime and seawater, creating a mix that grows stronger over time. Roman harbours and domes have survived 2 millennia of storms and salt water. The ash reacts with seawater to form new minerals, locking everything together. Survival isn't just about shelter, it's about building one that lasts. Know your materials and find what endures. Sometimes the right dirt is worth more than gold. Build for the ages and you're writing your name in stone for the future. Electricity is a luxury, but energy is everywhere. The Romans harnessed rivers with water wheels, turning flowing water into tireless workers. Water wheels powered mills, saws and forges, all with gravity and ingenuity. When the grid dies, look for moving water. Build your wheel, harness the flow, and let nature do the heavy lifting. Energy isn't always a plug in the wall. Sometimes it's a stream at your feet. The Romans saw rivers as silent engines, and their legacy still hums beneath the surface. The Roman arch, not just beautiful, but genius. It channels weight outward, letting bridges and aqueducts stand for centuries. A single keystone locks the whole thing in place, remove it, and the structure collapses. For survival, the arch teaches us to direct force, not just stack rocks. Build with an eye for load and transfer. Make your materials work together. Sometimes survival is about the shape you choose, not just the material. The arches are still holding up, long after the empire fell. The Romans weren't just warriors, they were medics with surgical tools that would impress a modern field surgeon. Forceps, scalpels, bone saws, all forged for battlefield repair. Their secret discipline and preparation. Sterilizing tools, organizing kits, and training specialists. The lesson: don't improvise when it matters most. Build your kit, know your tools, and practice before crisis hits. Survival favors the prepared and the precise. Skill, steel, and a steady hand beat luck every time. To move armies or survive, you need roads. The Romans built over 250,000 miles of them, layered with gravel, sand and stone. These roads shed rain, resisted frost, and supported the weight of armies and carts. Navigation, supply, retreat, all depend on a path you can trust. For survivors, the lesson is clear. Invest in the path, not just the destination. A well-made road is a lifeline, whether fleeing disaster or chasing hope. The Romans built for the ages, and their roads still show us the way. In siege warfare, the Romans faced walls and ships bristling with defences. Enter the harpax, a ballista-fired grappling hook that snagged enemy ships or fortifications and reeled them in. The genius wasn't brute force, but changing the rules. Pull the enemy in close, disable their movement, and strike where it hurts. Adaptation under pressure, that's survival. When faced with a problem you can't break, change the medium. Don't batter, entangle. Sometimes winning means rewriting the fight, not just fighting harder. Innovation often means turning the enemy's strengths into their greatest weaknesses. Building Rome took muscle, but not always human muscle. The tread-wheel crane, a giant hamster wheel for people, turning ropes and pulleys to hoist stones weighing tons. 1 or 2 men could lift blocks, no one could budge alone. Mechanical advantage in its purest form. Pulleys and wheels multiplying force. For survival, multiply your strength. Build systems that do the heavy lifting for you. Pulley, lever, wheel, the original force, multipliers. When a task is too big to muscle through, think like a Roman and let physics carry the load. The Romans faced a deadlier enemy than any barbarian disease. Their answer was the Cloaca Maxima, one of the world's earliest and largest sewer systems. It drained the filth of 1 million people, channeling it away before it could poison water or breed plagues. The lesson survival isn't just about food or fire, it's about keeping invisible threats at bay. Secure your water, manage your waste, and disease won't have a foothold. The Romans' war on filth is still saving lives today. Every Roman camp depended on pottery, for food, water, storage, and more. The potter's wheel turned clay from mud into civilization, using stored kinetic energy for precision. It's a simple flywheel energy stored in motion, released slowly as needed. In survival, it's about making your effort last. A spinning wheel turns muscle into endurance. Logistics and storage rest on this humble technology. Spin it right and you can feed an army. At the heart of every Roman advance was iron, forged with fire, hot enough to bend the world. The secret was the bellows, a simple air pump, stoking a charcoal fire to white heat. More air means more heat, and stronger metal. The blacksmith was the engine of the empire, turning raw ore into civilization's backbone. If you can work metal, you can shape your world, build your bellows, find your fire, and you can repair, create, and defend. With air, fire, and muscle, you make the tools that make survival possible. The road beneath your feet, the pipe carrying water, the vaulted ceiling above, Roman fingerprints pressed into the world. These 12 technologies share one quality: resilience, rooted in understanding. When the modern world becomes hostile, the question isn't whether you have the newest tech, it's whether you understand the oldest. The Romans answered in stone, water, fire, and iron. The lessons here aren't nostalgia, they're about survival. When the lights go out, these are the solutions that last. The Romans faced chaos with order, decay with design, and ruin with reinvention. That spirit is the heart of Warpath and Wilderness. Subscribe for more stories where history and survival intersect. Stay sharp, stay curious. See you on the trail.